to Pilates Fusion. Thank you for joining me. We're going to start sitting. And you might want to sit on your blanket, if you've got one. I'm just going to sit crisscross applesauce, as they say in America. So just fold up your blanket and then walk yourself so that you're forward on it, but you've got your legs on your mat. Hands onto the knees. And we're going to do seated cat-cows here. So we're going to round through a lot, tuck your chin to your chest, and then pull on your knees and arch. Inhale. So exhale, round through. And inhale to open. And then just find your own speed here. And then deep breath in and come to the center. Find your nice tall place. We're going to take left hand to right knee. Right hand behind you. Find a little twist here. Look over your shoulder. Let's drop this left elbow down. Keep your hand in where it is on the knee. And then lift your right arm up. So it's a side stretch. Yeah, that's it. So leaning down now, trying to keep both sits bones on your mat. Deep breath in. As you exhale, lift yourself up. Bring your right hand down. Take the left one down now too. And it's a forward fold towards your right knee. Deep breath in. As you exhale, crawl the hands to the front and find a forward fold here. Just a gentle invitation to your hips to start to open. Deep breath in. As you exhale, walk the hands back towards you and then bring yourself back up. Hands going to come back behind you. This is the one some of you find funky, so you can just press into the hands and open the chest. If you want to, separate your feet a little bit and you can actually take a hip flexor stretch as well if you can get your hips off. But you want to keep your knees and your legs down on the mat. Yes, good. Deep breath in, exhale to release and switch the cross. It's like me, you sort of wiggled off your mat a bit, you can wiggle back on again. Hands to the knees. This time we're going to take little rolls. So still doing the cat-cow shape in the back, arching as you come forward and rounding as you come back. And then let's switch direction. And then sitting nice and tall, let's rotate the other way, right hand, left knee. Left hand behind, sitting tall, looking over your shoulder. Looking into the corner of your eyes. So you're going to leave your right hand anchored where it is, and then you just drop the elbow down. And that hand that was behind you lifts up when you find the side stretch. So you can push into your right elbow on the legs a little for support. Create length. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the left hand down. Let's frame this left knee and just fold over it. So you should feel a bit more stretching in your right hip as we forward fold here. Deep breath in. As you exhale, crawl your hands around to the front and pause here. You can push the hands back a little. And then do the reverse. Pull the hands forward a little, but leaving them on the ground. And then deep breath in, exhale, walk the hands up. Well done. We're going to take our hands back now. Oh, I nearly forgot this one. And separate the feet just as well. I have it written down, isn't it? And we're going to lift the hips and stretch the front hips. Deep breath in and exhale, release. Okay, well done. Now we're going to come onto our hands and knees. If you've got sensitive knees, you can leave your blanket under the knees if you would like. And we're going to just do some cat-cows in this position. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to round through. One more. And then finding a pause, let's take the right leg back and you're just going to push back into that heel. So it's a calf stretch. I'm just walking forward so that I got more space to get my back toes on the mat. Yes, I'm not sure if you can see that online. So we're just here and you're just pushing back, activating the stretch into your right low leg and the right foot. We're going to take the weight into our left hand. You're going to leave your left foot exactly where it is and just push the top of the left foot down. So we're not tucked under on the left foot. That's it. Now stand the right one down and just start to open yourself up. So you're in a side balance, like a kind of a modified side plank here. Reaching up tall. And deep breath in. As you exhale, see if you can grow a little taller through that right hand. And another deep breath in. And this time, as you exhale, we're going to thread our right arm through. Come back to both knees and thread the needle all the way through. If it's comfortable for you to rest the side of the head on your mat, you can. Starting to open up the back of the right shoulder. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, let's come back to our quadruped and just wag our tail. Yeah, good. And let's send the left leg back now. Push back as much as you can so that you start to activate the stretching into the calf, the attachments to the ankle, the foot. Lovely. And we start also to switch on some of these strength muscles in the upper body and the core, drawing the belly in towards the spine. Deep breath in. As you exhale, release the stretch, but stay in this position. You're going to push the top of your right foot down. The left one stands down, so I've just turned it in its position. Right hand stays exactly where it is, and we start to open ourselves up into our side balance. So of course it's quite hard to balance if we don't adjust our position. Yes, keep your tailbone tucked under as much as you can. Lovely. If you're really struggling, you can tuck the right toes and you can also turn the right foot out a little to give yourself a little more base of support. Deep breath in. As you exhale, grow a little taller through your left arm. Spread the fingers so that you stretch the skin between them. Lovely. Deep breath in. As you exhale, we're threading the needle through. Left hand comes through. Bring that left knee down and just listen to the floor with your left ear. And if it's too far away, the floor, you can also just slip your blanket there if that feels nicer. Deep breath in. As you exhale, let's unthread ourselves, and we're going to take our hands down and just walk your knees back a little bit, and then draw the hips forward so that you find a modified plank position. So your belly's drawing strongly in. Now you're pulling your shoulder blades down your back. Yes, lovely. Let's find some hip circles from this position. So you take the hips way back each time. Lovely. Making sure the spine feels warm and mobile before we get going. We've got quite a lot of hip work today. We're going to throw in some neck and shoulders too. And then let's reverse. Notice which bits feel sticky. And last one. And then let's all widen the knees, take the toes together, find a child's pose. Sit the weight back. And rest your forehead either down on the mat if that's comfortable, or onto a block or your blanket. Walking both hands over to the left side, flip the right palm up, take your left hand on the top, interlace them, and then you're going to pull back into your right hip. You can rest your head on the side of your upper arm. Pull away with the left hand. Deep breath in, exhale to release. Let's crawl the hands over to the right side, please. Flip your left palm up, interlace the hands, and then relax the head down and pull away with that right arm. Create some length down the left side of the body. Deep breath in. As you exhale, release the clasp. Come through the center. You're going to lift the hips up just enough so you can tuck your toes under, and we're going to come into a slow down dog. Try to keep your chest back, and then just lift the knees first and then unfold the legs. So you keep your back in that, yes, perfect. You keep your back in its nice position. You can just walk through the heels. And then pausing when it feels right to you. Taking a deep breath in, we're taking a slow stroll to the front of the mat. Pausing here, and one leg at a time we're going to bend as we bring some little rotation into the hips here as well. So you 4 more. And 3. Yeah, good. And you can hold blocks as well if the floor feels a long way away. And then let's step the feet together, lift the heels up really high, and make a small ball here. So you're just going to round through. And if you don't like small ball because it doesn't feel good on your knees, are we all okay with that? You can lift up your heels really high, and you get a really good stretch in the feet as well. Use your arms to draw the knees in towards each other and get as rounded as you can in your back. Maybe your forehead comes to your knees, maybe it doesn't. We don't need to force that. And just sense your strong outer cocoon. Your back is your shell. Deep breath in. As you exhale, find a forward fold. And then soften the knees. Walk the hands to the shins. Come through a rounded back. Oh, here we go. Come through a rounded back to stand. Shoulders come down. Take a deep breath in, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Just pause here. Bend the knees. Come through a rounded back to stand. One more time. Deep breath in. Arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift the heels, find your small ball. Set the heels down. Walk the hands up the legs through a rounded back to stand. When you get to the top, hands to heart center, close the eyes, just taking a moment here. Feel the points where your feet connect to the mat. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. And see if you can stack your rib cage over your pelvis. Find a position where your head starts to feel weightless on top of your shoulders. Start to engage the muscles that support the pelvis. And then gently float the eyes open when you're ready. It's a little rotation side to side. Take some deep breaths. And we're going to start with a flow. So if you have blocks, have them near to the front. Actually, you might want both of the blocks, Helen. If no one else is using this one, you might as well have 2. Oh, that was very kind of you. Yeah, no, I'm actually in the process of trying to buy some more, but the ones that I bought were totally rubbish and unusable and tiny, so I'm trying to buy some different ones. Okay, so we've got our feet 6 inches apart. Take a deep breath in, please. As you exhale, fold wide, forward and down. And just pause here in your forward fold. Send your right leg way back, find a deep lunge. Again, pausing here to allow the front of the right hip to open, to plant the hands down, and then both legs step back to a down dog. Inhaling up your right leg. As you exhale, shift your weight forward, come up really high onto your left toes, so like we were doing in the small ball, and then shift your weight forward, round through, bring your knee towards your elbow and round your back away from the floor as much as you can, and then unfold the foot so it replaces the right hand. It's just a way of helping you get your foot a little closer to the front. Use your arm to help it get there if it didn't make it all the way. We're setting the left foot down, and this is where a block is useful on the inside of your front foot. We're going to come into side angle. I actually quite like mine on the highest setting here. So we would be in a deep lunge if we were here, but we've set our back foot down. Now we're going to start to open our left shoulder up. Now tuck your tail under. Stay deep into your front leg. Yes, good. And pull the left shoulder back. Start to rotate through the back. Start to lean back a little as the tail comes under against your imaginary wall. So there's a lot of hip opening in this one. And then, of course, you can lift up your left arm if that feels good to you. If you've got your hand on a block, we're going to engage the muscles of the belly and take our hand off the block and find a wide chest position. So just pull both arms back in a T position. Use the strength in your legs to hold you here. Yes, if you don't like it, you just put your hand back on your forearm to thigh or hand back on the block. Deep breath in. As you exhale, start to bring the chest down on the inside of this front leg. Interlace the hands behind you and lift them up and away. So this is Devotional Warrior. I know this is a lot of strength work in the leg. I'm not going to leave us here for too long. While you're here, look back at the instep of your left foot. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands down on either side of this front foot. Step back into a child's pose. Well done. Inhale, snake your way through to a cobra. So hands a little forward and wide of the shoulders. Allow your shoulder blades to slip down the back. Inhale, that's it. As you exhale, down dog. Take a stroll up to the front of your mat. Pause here in your forward fold. And then bend the knees, come through a rounded back to stand. Inhale, the arms widen up. Exhale, dive down. This time your left leg goes back. Pause in your deep lunge here. Opening up the front of the left hip. Lovely. Allowing the chest to draw down towards the right thigh. Perfect. Really good. Deep breath in as you exhale, down dog. You can walk through your heels, however feels good for you to be in your down dog today. Just think of chest towards thighs, tailbone shining up towards the sky. Then we're going to inhale up our left leg. As you exhale, you bend the knee, round the back, come up really high onto your right toes and shift your weight forward so that your knee is as close to your chest as you can get it. Then you flex your foot and unfold it to replace your left hand. It just gives you a little bit more space. And don't worry if you can't get the transition, because frankly I'm still working on it myself. So you just help it up there with your arm if you need to. We're going to set the right foot down this time. you've got the block in front of your left instep. Again, if you use the high setting, you want to go with the same one here. So your torso is facing your left foot. I want you to turn your torso to face the right side. Pull the right shoulder back. Stay nice and deep into your hip, yes. Left thigh's bent. And then if you want to send the right arm up, you can. So it creates more space when we come up high, and you can also use forearm on thigh if you haven't got a block, or you prefer that. Deep breath in as you exhale, engage the muscles, particularly on the right obliques, and see if you can take that left arm off and pull the shoulders back, make a T position in the arms. Deep breath in as you exhale. Let's turn the torso down, interlace the hands, wrong thumb on the top this time, and take yourself forwards. Look back towards the instep of your right foot. Yes, lovely. Pausing here, so left shoulder on the inside of that left leg. Deep breath in as you exhale. Let's release the hands, set the block out of the way. Child's pose or down dog, you pick. Deep breath in as you exhale. Stroll towards your hands. And this time we'll come up with a flat back if that's comfortable to you, with a reverse swan dive. Inhale, exhale, hands down to heart center. Just gently close the eyes for a moment. Notice how everything feels. And then floating the eyes open as you inhale the arms up and exhale, dive down. Right leg steps back, as does the left, into a down dog. It's up to you. We've been doing knees, chin, chest for the last few classes. If you want to try that, you can, or you can go straight into a chaturanga. So if you're doing knees, chin, chest, knees come down, chest comes between the hands, chin is forward, elbows are tucked in, and then snake through to a cobra, or an up dog, you pick. Think about widening the middle back here. Deep breath in as you exhale, down dog or child's pose. Lifting your right leg up as you inhale, as you exhale. Remember this transition we're doing here, coming up high onto the left ball of the foot, knee to chest. Shift your weight as far forward as you can before you untuck your right foot. Or you just get it there, however works for you. Now we're going to need a block a little forward and wide of your right foot, because we're going to step up into a half moon. So you might want to step your left foot in just a little bit to give you a fighting chance here. And then we're going to step ourselves open if you can. Or you just get here however you can. Yes, good. Now think about your straight lifted leg. Set the weight into the outside. Watch your knee on that front leg. It should be a little bit bent, yes. So I would parallel your foot, yes. So this knee is just a little bit internally rotated. Yeah, so you could leave your back foot a little less lifted. Yeah, good. So you're leaning into your imaginary wall here. Now, some of you will be perfectly happy or not, just to stay here. Other people will want to slide your hand down to your knee and then your left hand and then to catch your left ankle. That's totally optional. You don't have to do that. So deep breath in. As you exhale, straighten out that left leg and rotate your torso towards your right foot. You're going to make sure that this right knee is soft before you step way back and find a deep lunge. You might need to adjust your front foot a little. Yeah, good. So your left hand is going to be your supporting arm for a side plank. If you want to be on your knee, you're going to come onto your left knee. Otherwise, we're going to step our right foot on top of the left and find a side plank. Bump the hips up. And I think when we do a side plank in this type of class without shoes on, it's so much harder to balance, especially if you have your feet stacked. So don't worry, if you're here with your knee down, that's totally awesome. Now we're going to try and retrace our steps back. So it's going to be right leg that comes in the front. If you can, float it off and help it around, or just make your way back into a deep lunge with your right leg at the front any way that you can. Deep breath in as you exhale, straighten the right leg, bend the left, spring forwards. Just pause here for a second, releasing the neck, allowing the weight to draw into the hands as the back of the legs open, and use props to bring the floor up if you find that your knees are bent. There's absolutely no prize for getting your hands on the floor if you need to keep your knees bent or it feels like some kind of a trophy. Just close your eyes, no one's looking, it doesn't matter where you're at, it just needs to feel right. Deep breath in, bend the knees, reverse swan dive to come up. Inhale, exhale, dive wide and down. Well done. Let's send the left leg back. Pause here. Good. And then the right. And find your down dog. Going to inhale to a plank. It's your choice. You can do knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga, you pick. And then up dog or cobra. Again, that will be your choice. Widen your middle back when you're here. If you're in an up dog, tone the thighs, tops of the feet pressing down onto the mat. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Lifting up the left leg, bending the knee, coming up high onto the left ball of the right ball of the foot. Shift your weight forward, replace left hand with left foot. And this is where you want your block forward and wide of your left foot for your half moon. Yeah. So if you need to step that back foot in a little, you can. And then we're going to try to step up into our half moon. So it's up to you if you want to keep your left knee bent or straight. If you have straightened it, you need to make sure it's not locked out. You're lifting up the right one as high as you can. Yeah, fantastic. And then flex that right foot. Lean back into your imaginary wall. You can look up at the top handle, you can look down, or whatever feels better on your neck. Think about opening up the front of the right hip, allowing it to lift and open. Again, widening the middle back. If you tried this on the other side, right hand comes to the right hip, slides down the knee, all the way down. Maybe you can catch your ankle, maybe you can't, it doesn't matter. Just ignore this bit if it annoys you. If you happen to have your ankle, you can flex your foot and just pull away a little for a bit of an extra stretch. Deep breath in as you exhale. Send out your right leg really, really long. Soften the left knee and start to shift the weight back into the left heel as you rotate your torso down, and we're coming down into a deep lunge. Yes, super. So now it's your right hand that comes down on the inside of the right foot for your side plank on the other side. If you don't like being up on your wrist, you can also do this on your forearm. So you're either going to put your right knee down, keep it down, or you're just going to step your left foot on top of the right, find a side plank. On the right side, yes, that's it. Fantastic. Draw the belly in, push the floor away, bump the hips up. Forearm is awesome, it's not less good. So you're here if your wrist is bothering you on the forearm. Yeah, make sure that your arm is facing forwards to protect your shoulder. Can I touch you? So come your weight off your weight. Yes, that's it. Yeah, so you don't hurt your shoulder. Fantastic. Deep breath in. Now we're going to try to reverse out of this. You can use your hand behind your left knee to pull it up and just come back into a deep lunge with your left leg at the front. Based on the groaning in this room, I think we might be nearly ready for some stretching. Let's straighten out this left leg, bend the right one, spring forwards. And we're going to interlace our hands behind us, bend the knees, and just allow the arms to lift. Stretch your shoulders, look back between your knees. Deep breath in as you exhale. Hands come to the back waist and then down to the mat. And then we come through a rounded back to slowly stand. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale. Swan dive forward. We're coming into a pigeon now. So you're going to step your right leg way back, find a deep lunge, and then drop your back knee down. Your left foot's going to walk towards your right hand. And if you're very flexible in your hips, you can just lower your knee down from that position. I'm frankly not, so I have to angle my left leg back a bit towards the front of the right hip. So if you've got a blanket, this is my favorite way to pigeon. I like to make a big fat sausage here and then slide it through so that when you come to rest down, your hip's got something to rest on. You can also put a block under this hip. You want to try to avoid being here. You want to be, your left hip most likely is up off the ground, so you could have a block there as well to support you. Yeah, okay, so you, oh right, okay, you could try it. Bring this heel all the way back here. How's that? And then could we try putting a block under here? How's that? Bit more available? Yeah, okay, perfect. Yes, tight hips. Yes, I get it. Me too. Now, some of us are just going to stay here in the pigeon, and you can just relax forwards while the hips start to respond. So if you're feeling hip opening, that's correct, so just go with that. If you want to try a little more here, you can come up out of your pigeon and bend up your back leg. So we're going to reach for the back leg. So if you don't like that idea, stay in your folded up pigeon. So you would support yourself on your right hand or on a block to make it a little easier to catch your foot and then reach around. Some of you might be able to do this on your forearm. So left hand's reaching for right foot. Yes, left hand, right foot. There you go. Yeah, if it doesn't work, same arm works too, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't actually matter, to be honest. Oh, there you go, that works too. So deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to release the back leg if you had it. Bring yourself up into your hands. If you had props under your hip, we're going to set those out of the way. So if you don't like cow face, you go into figure 4 with your left leg on the top. If you do like cow face, or like being a very loose term, you bring your right knee and snuggle it behind your front left one. Then we separate the feet. Now again, you might find that you can do this and sit on a block if your hips are really tight. And then when you get here, lift up your hips and just bump them over to the right a little bit because they probably shifted to the left in transit. Yeah, good. We're going to take our right hand to our left knee, and rotate around. So if you're in a figure four, you don't have to do it, or you can. Yeah, that works for you actually. Yeah, perfect. So bringing yourself back to the center, we're going to take our right arm up and put our right hand in the center of the back and just start to encourage your elbow to lift by pressing on your upper arm. Some of you would find a stretch there, that's great. Some of you will want to put your left hand behind and you might be able to catch your fingers. Don't contort your back and all of that to try and get here, because this works just fine. So you're getting a rotator cuff stretch in the front of your left shoulder and triceps in the back of the upper right arm. If you're still game for more, you can add a little forward fold, but you don't have to do that. That just intensifies everything. So pick your options. Deep breath in as you exhale. Let's release everything. We're going to take the legs wide and just gently windscreen wiper. We took some nice big hip stretches there, so we're going to have to do the other side, I'm afraid. So whenever you're ready, let's make our way onto hands and knees. Wide knees, toes together. Shift the weight back and then tuck the toes under, so tuck-toed child's pose. Lift the knees, find your down dog. And then walk your feet towards your hands, or just meet us in a forward fold if you were doing a child's pose. Inhale, the arms widen up. Exhale, dive down. Let's send the left leg back. Find a deep lunge. Right foot walks towards the left hand. So you're setting up for pigeon now on the other side. So your right knee goes to the outside of your right hip. So make sure that you've angled your foot towards your... You can also do it like this if you feel your hips are very tight. And then your block will go under this right hip if you're using a block or a blanket. And you can just float around in space as well, but it's just a little bit nicer to have some support sometimes. And then you can fold forward. Some of you might know this one. You put your chest down on the block and just rest your forehead on your hands, and you're just a little bit more supported. It's nice. Allowing your breath to draw into the side waist, into that space that we've been creating, and strengthening there. Oxygen coming to the middle back, flooding the chest. Deep breath in as you exhale. If you did this on the other side, we're going to reach for the back foot. If you didn't, then just stay comfortably resting in your pigeon. So if you want to try for the quad stretch, you lift up your left leg, engage the hamstrings, right arm sweeps around. You can put your left hand on a block if you can't reach. If it's comfortable, you can come down to your forearm. You don't have to do that. If you are in the rotation, think about pulling that right shoulder back a little as you rotate a little more, and press the top of your foot into your hand. Yes, lovely. And I actually have bought us a set of belts. So for my friends in Riverside, next week we're going to play around with some belts. We're going to do some stuff we haven't done with straps before, actually. So hopefully you've got a dressing gown belt if you haven't got a yoga one, and you'll be at home. So deep breath in as you exhale. Let's release that back foot. Hands come down. We're all going to come into either figure four or cow face. So start to bring your back knee so that it nestles the front one. So you'll have right leg in the front if you're doing figure four. Separate your feet and then sit yourself back. Once you get here, take a little hop to the left with the hips. Yeah. You can flex your feet. Yeah, good. Does that work? Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Yep, that's very good. So, left hand is coming to right knee. Just rotate and look over your right shoulder. Deep breath in. As you exhale, come to the center. It's your left hand that comes up, comes to the center of your back. Right hand gently pushes the elbow up. Decide if you want to do that one where you reach behind. So push the air away first and have the back of the hand come up your back. I'm really a little tight in my right rotator cuff at the moment, so yeah, so you could just, I would just stay here, Mike. Yeah, when we got the straps, we can hold the straps. It's a bit depressing, isn't it, when these muscles get really tight. So if you did the forward fold on the other side, you can try it here also. You don't have to. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, come up and release. Take the legs out in the front. Give them a little pitter-patter. Well done. I'm going to come down onto our hands and knees here. We're moving on. And we're going to do some quadruped work with the ball to start with. So let's put the ball behind our right knee, please. And if you know this whole thing with the ball behind the knee, don't like it, you just ignore it. So we put the hands under the shoulders. If you know you have sensitive knees, I certainly do, then you can do this whole thing kneeling on your blanket. This makes it a little nicer. And we're going to lift up the right leg and then bring it down. Lift it up and bring it down. Yes. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now let's all flex our foot to start with. Inhale, exhale. Yeah, 2 more like this. Fantastic. Now let's hold it at the top, please. Draw the belly in and now point the toes, but keep the squeeze on the ball and squeeze and squeeze. So we're activating our hamstrings here and squeeze. Good. Squeeze. And now keep the squeeze. Flex the foot again. Take your left fingertips just behind the ear and you're going to drop your elbow to the inside of the other elbow and then inhale it to open out to the side. Yes, good. So exhale, close, inhale, open. So major balance. If you need to bring that back knee down to the floor, that's totally fine. 1 more, please. And lift it open. Well done. Hands come down. Both knees come down. Take the ball, place it between your inner thighs, and we're going to come up into a down dog shape. And then we're going to shift ourselves forward to a plank shape. Yes, so we're going to exhale into our down dog and inhale into our plank. So this is strength. So if you don't like down dogs, you can hold a plank on the forearms instead. We're squeezing the ball in. Step the feet in maybe a little closer towards each other. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, find your plank. You've got 2 more. Lift the hips. Find your plank. Fantastic. This is the last one. Lift the hips and bring it forward and come down to your knees. Well done. And we're taking the ball now behind our left knee. How bizarre. Okay, so hands are under the shoulders again. And let's flex the foot and we're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Yes. lift. And we're trying to keep the torso and the pelvis nice and steady here. Perfect. So separate between the shoulder blades to broaden the middle back to help your base of support. Beautiful. Spread the fingers a lot. Press the palms into the mat. Lift and lower. Now let's point the toes. Keep it going. We've got 2 more. Nice. And then let's hold it at the top and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And last one. Now hold your squeeze and flex your foot. This time, if you can, right fingertips come behind the ear and draw that right elbow towards the inside of your left elbow. Yes. Now inhale, open out to the side. You won't have a very big rotation here. Exhale to close. We're holding that leg up for fun. So if you don't like it, just bring it down. Inhale it open. Exhale it close. Lovely. Couple more. You can tuck those right toes under if it helps with your balance. And last one. Open it up. Bring it down. Hand comes down. Leg comes down. Well done this time. The board is going between your ankles and we're going to play around with it. So if you don't like planks on your toes, you're going to come to the forearms and find a forearm plank on the knees. Inhale, please. As you exhale, find your down dog. And just pause here for a second. If, like me, you had a blanket, you're going to want to set that out of the way. Now, here's your fun if you want it. You can reach for the ball. This is quite hard because you're going to have to do the movement on one arm. Reach for the ball and then place it down. Yes, inhale. So you exhale, put the ball back in place and then come back to your plank with both hands down on the mat. And then we switch sides. Get the ball with the left hand and come forward. The left hand there. Yes. Let's come back. Can we do it once more each side? You take a break whenever you want to. So you reach for the ball. Now keep the work behind the shoulder blade. So you always do one plank in the middle. And then we're all going to meet in a wide knee. Toes together, child's pose. If you've got blocks, you can stack them up in the front and leave your hips high and take a nice stretch through the shoulders and just let the head hang. Yeah, good. You can also do this with your hands on the ball, it's totally fine. Let's put the left hand down on the mat now, please. And now it's just the right hand on top of whatever you're using. And just intensify the stretch into the right side now, into the right shoulder. Deep breath in. As you exhale, lift up just a little. Let's switch sides. Right hand down, left hand on the top. Open up. Deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the back up. Place the hand off the block. Now, you're either using a ball or one block at this stage. I'm going to come into dolphin. So if you don't like dolphin, you're going to repeat what we just did. Okay, so dolphin is this one where we do basically a down dog on our forearms. So we're going to hold the block or the ball as a kind of a reference point, and we want, well, ideally your little fingers into the block, but my shoulders aren't that good, so I'm going to have thumbs up towards the ceiling. Okay, we're going to shift our weight back. So just that, and you'll feel that we created some space in the shoulders and the side waist. You might be happy to stay there. Some people will be happy to tuck the toes under and lift the hips up. Now press into your prop with whichever you've picked. 4 more. 3, 2, and release. Bring the knees down. Well done. Child's pose. Whatever type of child's pose you want to do. Deep Deep breath in and exhale to come up. Well done. Let's grab the ball, please, and we're moving on. I'm going to do a little bit of abs here before we find our relaxation. So we're going to start sitting down. If you know that you have sensitive cervix, you can sit on a comfy blanket. Otherwise, tuck your tailbone under just a tiny bit and just sit slightly behind the sits bones. I'm going to take the ball and place it in between our feet today, between the ankles. Now you can put your hands down. You can come onto your forearms if you want to. It's a little harder to be on the hands, so you pick. And then we're lifting the heels up a little, and we're just going to press and press and press. Pull the shoulders down. 8, good. 7, 6, 5. Quite a lot of work in the hip front of the hips as well. Yes, last 2, last 1. Now, can you shift forwards and just reach for your ankles? You can hold behind the thighs if you want to. Wow, look at that. Great job, everyone. Let's point and flex. Point and flex. 2 more and we break. And the last 1. And take a little break. Well done. Hold on the front of the shins, arch the back. And then round through. Leaving the ball between the feet, we're going to round ourselves to lying down. So you're going to fight the fall here. Go as slowly as you can, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then when you get down to the bottom, you can pull the shoulders down away from the ears. And then maybe you can float your legs up into a tabletop. If you don't like it with the ball, give me a single leg, that's fine. Now, we're going to straighten and bend. You want to try and keep your knees above your hips here. Stabilize everything in the pelvis, draw the belly in without pushing your low back into the floor. Yes, that's perfect. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. We have 4 left. 3. Last 2. Now let's, on this next one, hold the legs up straight, please. You can either just stay there, or maybe you can take one leg in the front and one behind. Yeah, fabulous. Let's do a couple more here. Now, leave your left leg on the top and either stay there, or maybe you can lower a couple of inches and then lift. So lower and lift. 4, 3, 2, last 1. Take a little break here. A little rock side to side, wide knees, drawing towards their own side shoulder. And then let's send the legs back to their tabletop position again, please. Hold it there. And then let's find those straight legs again and bend. This time let's do it with flexed feet. So straighten and bend. Keep the squeeze on the balls. Straighten and bend. Fantastic. Keep drawing the belly in. Let's do 4 more. And 3. When you pause in your tabletop, make sure you don't bend the knees too much. Yeah, good. And then pause here, take the legs up, and let's find our fancy feet again. One in the front, one behind. And then pause with your right leg in the front, either holding here, or you can add the lowering and lifting. Make sure it doesn't bother your back. And lift, and lower, and lift. And 4 more, and then we're relaxing. And 3, and 2, and last 1, and well done. Let's pick the ball up, please. Lift your hips up, place it under your sacrum. We're coming into a full body stretch with elevated hips. If you don't like doing it on the ball, you can put a blanket underneath your hips instead. That's totally fine. And let's just shift from side to side a little. Don't know about you, but I can feel my hip flexors zinging after that. Just start to let the body release. When you're ready, let's take our arms by our side, please. Bend both the legs, placing the feet flat to the floor. Take your shoulders a little further away from your ears and then drive up through the hips, lifting them really high as you can. Again, releasing some of that shortening that we've just done in the front hips and allowing it to lengthen. Deep breath in as you exhale, slowly as you can. Start to allow gravity to draw your hips down towards your mat. Remove your ball. That's it. When you get down here, you can just start to find a comfortable place for relaxing in. And I would change the music. And we will take our full 5 minutes here. So if you need to leave because I'm overrunning us by a few minutes, I'm not at all offended. I'm going to turn the lights out in here and I'll come and help you with your blankets. If you don't want the lavender spray, just raise your arms so I know not to come to you. Start to take some slow, deep breaths. Start to allow the body to release. And let yourself land inside the safety of your own container, your own body. This is your perfect home. Start to explore your inner landscape, how everything's feeling. And without judgment, how is your breath traveling within you? Are there any areas where you feel tense or uncomfortable? Just allow those to soften. Sending your breath anywhere at all where you want to loosen the grip and expand the space. Today we're thinking of happiness, and sometimes happiness can feel like a place that's difficult to find, but there are things that can inspire happiness within us. And equally, some things make that more challenging, like dwelling in the past or feeling worried about the future. Let's take a full breath in. As you exhale, let go of any tension about the past. Let go of any worry about the future. And just allow yourself to be right where you are now. Experiencing contentment right here. Bringing to mind an activity now that brings you joy and makes you happy. Maybe it's hearing a child laugh, enjoying your favorite meal, walking in the sunshine, embracing a loved one. Whatever it is for you that sparks joy, just see that in your mind's eye. See yourself fully immersed and fully enjoying that activity, this moment of happiness and joy. Let yourself inhabit and appreciate it fully. Notice how it feels in your body. Settle on happiness without distraction, just as it is. And now see if you can imagine this feeling of happiness, this joy, as like a radiating orb of warm light deep within your heart. As you focus on the light, it grows brighter, expanding and amplifying. The more you focus on it, the greater it becomes, shining warmer and brighter, filling your body completely with this sense of pleasure, of this shining, vibrant light, right from the center of your heart, out through your arms, legs, the top of your head, radiating happiness throughout your whole body and expanding beyond into the spaces around you. If at any time you find yourself being pulled away from this light, this feeling of radiating happiness, just come back to your breath and refocus your awareness to right now. Allow yourself to savor the experience. There are so many things that can bring us joy throughout the day. That joy can be expanded and amplified if we allow ourselves to fully experience it. To appreciate every small moment, to completely tune into where we are. Starting to take a deeper breath in now. And as you exhale, allow the images to fade and your awareness to come back to your fingers and toes as you start to wiggle them. Starting to become more aware of your surroundings. Moving your body slowly, in your own time, into a comfortable stretch. You might be giving yourself a wide knee hug, maybe taking a full body stretch. Making your way in your own time to lying down on your right hand side, supporting your head with your arm. Just pausing here in the fetal position with the eyes gently closed. Taking a deep breath in as you exhale, gently press through the top arm and guide yourself to a comfortable sitting position. get here, making two loose fists, stacking your forearms, just giving yourself a little hug. As you continue with your day today, if at any point you feel like you've become distant from this joy, just know that you can return to this feeling anytime you want by taking some slow, smooth, deep breaths and centering your attention back on your orb of happiness. In your own time, gently floating your eyes open. Be well. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming. I hope you have a really nice rest of your day. There's no rush to move.